How can I worry about what I need to do in my own life when I'm too concerned about what other people are doing in theirs? This was an actual comment told to my boss when the boss told this individual to mind his own damn business and just concern himself with what he can do in his own life and stop stirring up crap in everyone else's. And it's kind of funny because that's kind of where we are in this world today, where people are so concerned about what everyone else is doing and that what happens in their lives is their number one priority, and they don't pay attention to their own life as much. And it reminds me back when I was younger. I was a good Christian conservative boy listening to Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck and Sean Hannity and all these guys, and just constantly listening to this and then filtering in preaching in between there while I was working or had free time driving or whatever. But there was a theme that there was back then was this nanny state, and not be in a nanny state where don't legislate what I should do in my own life. Stay out of my own personal choices, my own personal decisions. If it doesn't affect the community, don't legislate it over me and make me fall in line with something you believe to be right to do, even though it's not harmful to anyone else. And I agreed with that. And to this day, I still agree with that. I don't need governance over my own personal life and what options I have to how I want to live it, as long as it's not harmful to other people. And quite frankly, that ideology left me. And as I realized is that too many people are focused on this idea of I need to control, I need to do this because their lives are affecting everything I do in my own life. I have this right idea on how everything's going to be, and I can't live this way because these people are living their own ways. And if I have some sort of sacrifices I'm doing in my basement to my own deities that I want to choose and worship, but that never leaves my basement, how does that affect anyone else in my neighborhood? It doesn't. So why legislate what I can do in my own basement? If it's not affecting anyone, it's not harming anyone, and it's not doing anything bad altogether, what is it they're concerned to do? It's not, but it does affect them. And I think a lot of it is it affects them because of another reason of that they have to be right. And this confirmation that if they can force this on other people, they'll feel better about how they're choosing to live. And it'll make them feel better and more accepted and part of the group. They want their group to be as large as possible and everyone to agree with what they're doing. And therefore, they can't worry about what they're doing and work on what their own selves are. They have to work on everyone else to conform to their own ideals. And the thing I realized, because I don't know really what to do with this and how to deal with this in public, because you can't open these people's eyes because they think they're absolutely right. And one thing I've noticed is that when I started growing out of this and started focusing more on myself and not concerning myself with what everyone else was doing in their life and just controlled what I could control, my own life, my own personal way of living and acting in this world, it opened up so many avenues to other people because people were attracted to that they were more likely to come into my life and be part of it and help me develop and grow and be a better person because I wasn't concerned about what they were doing. I was concerned about me, and they were concerned about themselves. And together, we can concern ourselves about a community as a whole and how it's going to benefit both me and them, and what compromises we could make together to make that be a better community for all around. And we weren't forcing anything on each other, which leads to the other thing that I noticed too, is the people that always have to be right. When I realized that I don't have to be right at all about anything, and that I could just be open and willing to learn. I can have my own opinions, I can have my own thoughts, I can have my own beliefs. But I'm also open to other people discussing that with me. And if they make concrete evidences and proofs to me about something, I'm open to change and I'm flexible because I'm willing to learn. Instead of having to be right and teaching, I became a student and willing to learn and grow and understand more and more about what's out me because I've understood one thing. I'm not right and I can't know everything. And when I can get in that state, I'm willing to learn as much as I possibly can about as much that's out there in this world. And that also brought people to me. And I noticed that when I was always right and always forcing my way on other people, there was walls put up all around me. And now I notice that I put these walls up around myself for people that act that way. The family members that are constantly pushing MAGA viewpoints on us. The people that are always kind of force their ideas on LGBTQ plus and saying that, according to our religion, that's not right. We don't communicate with them as much anymore because they don't want to listen. They don't want to debate and argue and actually go back and forth and see what's actually being said, because they're absolutely right. These people end up shutting themselves out of everything else. And I think we saw a lot of that over this last holiday season, and going to see more of it in the future, where these people that have to be right and are extremely narcissistic and have to be 100% correct and have to have their way or no way will start shrinking away into smaller and smaller fractions of people. And the other people that are more open are going to come together and bring this community up to where it needs to be. At least that's what I hope's happening.